Hello everyone, it's Michael again, and today we're going to be doing report writing under SmartSuite. SmartSuite, what we tried to do, and I believe we've been very successful, and that is make it very easy for you to write reports. So what we're going to do is we're going to deal with three kinds of reports. We're going to deal with a report that I would like to possibly email, or once I'm happy with the report and once I'm happy with the email, how about I automatically schedule it to go out? As an example, an overdue report. I want to schedule my overdue report to go out on the first Monday of every week at 7 o'clock to a particular staff member for a particular year level. That's one example. The next one we're going to do is we're going to then go and deal with how do I write a report with specific fields of information on it. So we're going to deal with that one as well. And of course, the third one is understanding spine labels and how can I change the font or the information that appears on my spine label. That's a little bit more tricky, but the principle, once you understand the principle, cut yourself loose and go ahead and do whatever you like. And before we start, I just want to make you very comfortable that no matter what kind of report we work with, you cannot stuff up or damage the existing reports. Okay, so number one, you need to be logged in as an administrator or a librarian. And what we mean by that is that once you're signed into the system, that's your sign in button. So I'm already signed in. When you go to the menu and you click on that, you will come down to the report option. If you do not have this report option on your menu, your login doesn't give you authority to do that. So let's go and click on the reports. Okay, so remember we talked about creating a simple report and also scheduling a report to happen periodically at a particular time every day. And the best example of that is the overdues or the loan report, current loans. Okay, so I'm going to use one of these. Now, you can see I've got reports created by FSI, that's Functional Solutions. So basically, all the reports in these categories, so if I look at catalog reports or cost center reports or loan reports or whatever, any of these reports, you cannot stuff them up. But if you're going to generate reports of your own, you can take any one of these reports and then you can create another report, which is a copy of that one, and it will automatically appear down here. And it'll be called reports created by me. Now, because I'm going to do loan reports, so let me go into the loans. I've got one there. So let me just click on that one and let me get a delete. Okay, it says, are you sure? So basically, I'm getting rid of the loan report. You can see there's no loan. I've got loan history report. So let's go in here and just delete the loan history reports as well. Okay, I want to make sure absolutely that there are no reports on here. So loan history, delete this one, delete. Okay, and then go back into loan history. I'm going to delete all of these reports, so just bear with me because I want to prove a point here that loan history, that you can go and you can delete, you can alter existing loan reports that you've created, but you cannot delete a report that is the Functional Solutions generated report. Okay, so we've got rid of loans from here, and I'm removing loan history because I don't want any reports in here that has the word loan in it. Okay, so see loan history. Now watch. Okay, there. So I've got catalog reports, cost center reports, overdue, spine label reports that were created by me, not by Functional Solutions. So now if I want to go and create a loans report, I can go to current loans and let's go loans by classification. Okay, so I'll do that. You can see there is no delete button. You can't accidentally delete it. What I can do, I can duplicate it. Okay, and if I go duplicate that record, it'll say loans by classification duplicate, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to say Mike's demo. Okay, Mike's demo. That's the name. So I'll go save. All right, and let's go back into the report system and let's have a look. Now all of a sudden I've got current loans and I've got loans by classification Mike's demo. So what I've effectively done is taken a report from the top section, change the name of it, and when I do, it's down the bottom. Now if I just go into that report and just go open that report without doing anything to it, so I'm going to choose year 12s. Okay, that's so class grade equal to year 12, and I can go generate, and that's just going to generate my report. That's no different to the top report. However, let's say that this is the year 12s or a homeroom report, and I would like to have this report automatically sent, or I want to manually send it to the year 12 teacher to say, can you please chase up all the students on that list? Very easy to do. Let's go back home, start again. Okay, so I can go to, I've taken a report from here, change the name of it. So I go to current loans, and that's the report. So what I can do is I can go into the configuration to change the layout of that report. And this principle applies no matter what report you are working on, no matter what you're trying to do. The whole concept is grab a report and hit the configure button. Okay, and that will allow you to change the conditions of the report, the ordering setting, the results data, the template, and whatever. So now we're going to do a very simple thing is we're going to go and we're going to choose year 12s. Okay, there it is, year 12s. And we're going to go into generate that report. Okay, now once you've generated the report, you can turn on and say, I want to make sure, I chose year 7s, but I want to make sure that, I didn't put any class grade in here. Let's go and put a year 12 class grade in there. Okay, now I'll go generate, so that'll only give me my year 12s. So there's my year 12s. Now I want to send this report to the teacher. Now if it was a student report, I could have sent it to the student. I could have sent it to the student's parent. How do you do that? Very simple. You just click the email button. Once you've generated a report, validated all the information correct. That's correct, because you don't want to send reports out with the wrong information. Now you can click on email, and this is where you have to watch what I'm doing here. Okay, we'll start at the bottom rather than at the top. Now if I just said send this email, what's going to happen? It'll come from do not reply, and you can say no, I want them to reply to me. I don't want a do not reply to go out. So I will put in Mike at school.edu.vic.au. Now if I go send that now, what's going to happen? It will come from this email address. So if they hit reply, then I will get a response from that email. But if I left it blank, it'll just go do not reply. In other words, I don't want to know. I'm just telling you that these books are overdue. That's what that's about. But if I'm sending it to a teacher, I can put in here and I can go, hi Jane, please chase these students for me. That's all you need to do. Okay, and specify to, I can put Jane's email address here. So I can go Jane at okay, so now when I put send, what's going to happen? It's going to send it to this email address, the specified email, and it'll come with a from address of that, and the subject will be at that, and of course the report will be the information you saw on the previous screen. So just click send and off it'll go. But I can say no, if this is how it's going to happen, every week, I would like to send this email to Jane so that when the report goes out, any emails, any overdues for my year 12s, because that was a year 12 report that I ran, send it to there. So what I will do is starting from, and choose any day, starting from tomorrow. Okay? Or you can say, no, starting from Monday next week at 7 in the morning, schedule this report. I just click schedule. The schedule's been created, and that's it. And now what's going to happen at 1 o'clock from Monday, weekly, I can say, no, send it fortnightly or send it monthly. Okay, but weekly is fine. So automatically, all my year 12 people that have overdues, okay, the teacher will get the email. And that's how you can schedule any report. The principles we're talking about today is the principle of how you can take it. So now when I've done that, okay, I can go into configure. I can go into home. Okay, and now I can go back into my current loans by classification by Mike. Okay, and I can go duplicate, and this time the duplicate is for Mike, and I'll go year 7. Okay, and then my condition will be year 7s. Okay, now if I save that record, save it. Okay, let's go home. So basically now with my current loans, I've got a demo one and I've got a year 7. So when I go to the year 7s and I go open that year 7's record, you can see that the year 7 is already in there. Okay, I never have to put that in there ever again. But if I'm going to go email that and I put in all my email parameters, then I don't even have to select, because it's called a year 7. I can schedule that. So my year 7 teachers, because I've gone into email and because I've put in the year 7 specified to the year 7 teacher, okay, and I'll say, dear Mary, can you please chase up these year 7 students? Okay, and that I'll do the year 7s. Then I could have gone and go back home. Okay, go back home. And I could have gone into my current loans again, and this time I'll take this one and I will duplicate it. Okay, and this will be for my year 8s. All right, so that's my year 8s, and I'll go into my conditions and I will get rid of my 7 and choose the 8, and now I'll go save. So now I've got a year 8 report. So if I go home, okay, and I go to my current loans, I've got a year 7 and I've got a year 8. So when I go into my year 8s and go configure, okay, I can validate that's correct. Then I can go generate that. I'm hoping I've got some loans in there. Yeah, I've got some year 8s. So then what I'll do is I'll go into my email, put in my email parameters, and I'll go schedule, and then that's it. So I can create an automatic schedule from in my case, I've done loans. I could have done overdues instead and gone through exactly the same process, and that's how I would do it. But let's say, for argument's sake, this is not the information you want. You would now like to change the layout of the information. Now, I could have gone configure, and I could have gone results data, and I could have gone template, and I could have changed all that information. Okay, so I'm now going to go into the second phase of my reporting module and show you how you can take any report from up here or from down here. You can create another report of it by duplicate. Okay, then you can change what information appears in that report and I've shown you how you can change the selection criteria and save it. I'm now going to show you how to do the alteration of the output on that report. Now, I could have taken the loans report and I could have taken any of these, okay, absolutely any of them, and gone open. I could have generated that report, and then I could have gone into configure and gone and changed the information on here. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I want to take you into another aspect. I want you to forget about the overdues, because some of you might just want a catalog record. So let's go to catalog. Okay, these are all the existing catalogs, and let's just choose copies by location. The principle is exactly the same, whether you do a loan report, an overdue report, a catalog report, a patron report, a reservation report. It's exactly the same. You just apply the principle of what I'm showing you to the report that you're trying to do. I've deliberately chosen copies by location. So if I go open, okay, and let's choose a location, and let's choose the A7 storeroom. Okay. Now the A7 storeroom, if I go generate, it's going to generate my report, and it's given me the title, the copy barcode, the copy number, the call number, and the sublocation. Okay. Now you can say, oh yeah, I've seen this report. I've run it all the time. It's a totally useless report because I would have liked the author in here. And I'm not interested in the sublocation because we don't use the sublocation field. And if you look at my report, 100% of everything in sublocation says NA not applicable. So I would like to now take this report, and which is copies by location, and I'm going to call it my title with author and copies. Okay. So the configuration button is where we start. So when I go configuration, it says, what do you want to call it? And I'll say, I'm going to call it copies copies with author and no sub. You can call it anything you like. I'm just trying to be creative, and I'll just go save. Okay. Now, just because I've saved it doesn't mean it's given me that information. I've just copied the report by location. So let's go back in here again. Okay, home, and in the catalog, I've taken the copies by location. Now, if I go to the bottom area where everything gets changed, every individual report I created gets copied here. If I go copies, and there it says copies with author and no sublocation. So now when I click on that, and now when I go open that report, okay, it'll give me the same information that I had before. Sorry, what happened there? Generate. Copies with author and no sublocation. You can see it's the A7 storeroom because when I saved that record, it already had that in there. Okay, I could have saved it without that, and then every time it'll ask me to put in the location that I want. Okay, and so now I want to change the layout of this report. So to change the layout, I have to be in configuration. To do anything with the report, you go into configuration, and two things you need to be aware of: results data and template. Big difference between the two. The results data is actually telling you what information is available in the report. So if I click on results data, you can see I've got no author in there. So if I go to the template and I try to put an author in here, which we'll deal with in a minute, you won't be able to because it doesn't exist, because that's all the results you're getting. Now, if you'd like more information on your report and you're looking, you can say, yes, but I've only got title, copy barcode, copy number, that's all I've got. How do I add more fields of information I can pick from? And that's what that plus sign is saying. Click the plus. Now watch what happens when I click the plus. it gave me the accession number only because it's alphabetical. If I click the plus again, it'll give me additional title. That's alphabetical. It won't give me accession again because that's already exists. So what I can do is I can say, no, I don't want accession number. So when you click there, it'll show you all the information that's available. The information from the title area, the information from the copy area. Now, I want the author, so I'll just click the author. So now I've got copy status and author. And then I've got additional title and I can go, no, I don't want the additional title. I would like the media. Okay, so you can see I've got no media in here. So in that case, I'll come down here and I will look for media. It's all in alphabetical, so I'll click on media. So now I've got all this information. And if I go generate, okay, so when I go generate, the report will not have that information I just added. Okay, the reason for that is because I'm looking at the template of the report. There's no author, but remember the results data? When I click on the results data, yes, there's the author and there's the media type. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go from making sure that I can now go to my template of my report and put the author on there and put the media type on there. So to do that, I'll go back into my configuration, and when I click on my template, okay, these are all the fields that are appearing on the report. That's it. And you can go, it's a very narrow screen to work with. Yes, it's narrow because that is an A4 piece of paper. So we're making sure you just don't go ahead and add 16 fields of information and then complain that it's not on the report because physically you can't fit 16 fields there. So what you can do is you can say, show to me like a PC screen, and that's what that button is there for. When you click that, now you've got all that space. And now I can go and add, except how do I add more information? The plus sign is a dead giveaway, so I can click on the plus sign and it'll add the copy alphabetic. So I'll click on that and I say, no, I want author. And then I'll go, I want to add, and so let's go here and see what else I've added. I've gone and added location, and I go, no, I don't want location, I want media type. Now, what you can do is, underneath all these fields, you can see I've got that little sign there that says I can expand that out. Okay, so you can expand that out and you can see it there. Okay, however, let me have a look and see what this report is now going to look like. So if I go generate, now that I've altered the template, okay, this is for all the material in the 7 storeroom. Okay, and if I go, the fundamental rule I forgot, and I'm glad I forgot it, because if you do not save the changes, they won't get reflected here. I have done that so many times, it's a mistake. So I go back into configuration, go back into my template, go back into my show to me in PC format, then go add, and I'm going to add author like I did before. And let me just close this in a bit, and I'm going to add, and I'm going to add, instead of location, okay, let's scroll across there, instead of location, I'm going to add media. Then very, very, very important, you click the diskette up here to save it, and you click the save button at the bottom to save it. Okay, now let me just exit out, go back into the home, and let's go back into my catalog reports, and my catalog reports with author and no sublocation. So if I click on that, okay, and go open, that's my 7 storeroom, and I go generate it. I could have changed that. If I didn't want the A7 storeroom, I could have added a different selection criterion there. Okay, now there it is. It's giving me my title, my copy number, my call number, my sublocation, my author, and my media type. Okay. And you go, oh, that's a bit silly. I didn't want the author down there. I would like to have the author here. And so now I'm going to show you, now that I've shown you how you can add information to your report, you can of course now go and you can export that data. You can print it as a PDF, okay, and it will give you the information you want. But that's not the order. I want to change my template. So go back into configuration, okay, go back into your template, and what you can do is you can say, you know what, I'm just going to go and I'm going to click on this one, okay, into this one, and I'm going to delete it. And it says, are you sure? And I go, yep. I've went and deleted the whole thing. So I've got rid of the whole thing, okay? So what you can do, if you don't save it, if you make a mistake like that, okay, you can go back and go create a brand new report, a brand new template, or you can just go, you know what, go home, don't save it, and go back into your catalog, go back into copies by author, by sublocation, okay, and go configure, okay. And now when you go into the template of that report, it's still there. So I could have gone here and I could have changed that, okay. I can change that and say I want the author up here and I want the media up here. Then I don't want the call number, but I would like the barcode up here. And I don't want the sublocation, but I would like the location up here. And in this one, I would like, okay, remember, these are all data from the results data. Okay, so you can go ahead and you can remove an item by just going minus the that one, and then you can click on here and you can go in this one, and I want to get rid of author. So now that's what you've got. Now I can go generate just to check it. And oh, I didn't save it. I did not save it again. So you need to go to configuration, go back into template, okay, change the order. So I want the author, I want the media, and I don't want this information here, okay, and I don't want this information here. Hit the diskette to save, hit the save button to save, and now when I go generate, okay, there's my 7 storeroom, that report, and that new template which I saved will appear on my screen. So it's very important to save in those 2 areas, okay? Now that report is fantastic, but I would like to go in here and just get rid of that, okay? And now go generate. Okay, and that's going to, because I've got no location there, it's going to do a report on every location in the system. Now obviously if I've got a database that's got 80,000 records in it like I have, it'll give me only the top 1,000 results, but I can export the whole thing out, okay? But what you can do is you can click on this and you can say I'm after the art department and I'm after the D block, okay? Or what you can do is you can say no, okay, I want to be able to make sure that this particular report is able to be saved without any condition in it. So I'll just go save, okay? So now when I go home and bring up the reports homepage, I go to catalog and catalog with author and no sublocation. That's my report. When I go open, it'll say location equal to. I can now click on here and I can say location equal to, and you can choose the location you want. So the location equal to science prep storeroom. Okay, and now if I generate that, it'll go ahead and it'll give me that. And by the way, Now that I've got that in there, you can click on the add button and you can say and with accession number or and with call number equal to, no, starting with, and you can say with call number starting with 500. Okay, and if I go generate, it's going to be science prep room and ending starting with 500. And then I can go and with whatever. Or you can say or with call number equal to, you can go containing and containing any syllables. And you can keep adding as many criteria as you want to any report on your system. Okay, now if you go, this is a report that I would like to run all the time and I want to make sure I'm reminded about my selection criteria, why not go configure and then, okay, in the configuration, why not go duplicate? So you can save that and save it as a different name if you wanted to. Okay, so you can save any report with any configuration or any layout or whatever you want and give it a name. Okay, alternatively, what you can do is you can say, you know what, no, I'm going to go into catalog, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to duplicate that particular report, give it a totally another name. So I'm going to go cat by any selection. That's what I'm going to call it. And then I'll just go save. Okay, and of course I can go ahead and put in my conditions, I can change my results data, I can change my template, and just remember to hit the save button. If you change the template, you got to hit that save and that save as well. Okay, but as soon as you hit save, what will happen is that report that you've now done will appear on the bottom section of your screen. So if you've taken a catalog record and then duplicated it, it'll be in the catalog area here. If you've taken a loan history and duplicated it, it'll be loan history down here. If you've taken spine labels and changed something, it'll appear on the bottom. Okay, so the principle of configuring a report, okay, so let me just go and choose that one. The principle of taking any report on your system, okay, allows you to duplicate it, allows you to put, give it a name first, okay, and you can go and put it into a different grouping. And you can if you want to. My recommendation, leave it in the existing grouping so you know where you came from. You can go and change the order. You can choose the results that you want to make available on the template of when the report runs. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the RACO 12603 spine label, and that's the third kind of report we said we're going to do, and we're going to show you how to change a spine label report. Now, the beauty about this is that you cannot stuff up an existing report. Okay, no matter what report you've done, whenever you go and duplicate it, you can't stuff up the master. So rest and be peaceful about it and go ahead and play around to your heart's content. You will not stuff it up. So let's have a look at the spine label template. Okay, now when I look at the results data, I've only got the call number that's going in there. If I want to add other information to the spine label, I can click on the plus and go, what other information? You can add any information to the spine label. Please remember, the label's the size of a postage stamp. So no use going ahead and adding title, author, location, sublocation. No use adding all of that. That's why we start with just the call copy number. If the spine label was a RACO 12601, and that's a powerful label. You have a spine and you have a broad label. Then you can go and choose author, location, due date, acquisition date. You can put almost anything on that right-hand side label, okay? So that's where you go for the results and the template. This is a little bit funny because we're giving you the size of the label, okay, and it makes it very difficult to go in and change the information. So let's say I want to change the font. So what you have to do in here, when you go in here, okay, you've got a horizontal scroll and you've got a vertical scroll. Okay, so when you go to the vertical scroll, when you click in here, all right, you have to make sure that you are able to bring up the change icon in here. Now, I'm having difficulty doing it. Okay, there it is. So here it is, the change icon. Okay, so you have to scroll around with that bottom scroll bar a little bit. So when you put it in there, you got to scroll in there till you get, see, that's the bin. If I click that, it'll delete the call number. I don't want to delete that. So I just go here and I put it up there, and that's my settings. I can make it left justified, center justified. If I scroll just a little bit, then I can make it right justified. Okay, that's how you justify the spine label. Except I want to change that. So if I click on that cog, now it's showing you that it's center justified. I can go left justified, center justified, right justified, because that's how the data is going to appear. But I would like to change that font. So click on that, and there's all your fonts that's available to you. And you can say, oh, can I go and make it normal size or medium or large? Yeah, you can. Please bear in mind, whatever you choose, okay, what's going to happen is you've only got that little postage stamp to fill it in. So it's no use going in font size and, you know, going huge, because if it won't fit in there, then your spine label is going to look like a piece of nonsense. Okay, so I've gone and chosen that. Now what I can do is I can say make it bold. I can say make it underlined. So you can change all of that information. Okay, very, very important. And okay, I can even add other pieces of information onto the spine label if I wanted to. If I want to delete information from the spine label, just highlight it and just go hit the delete button. Highlight that, hit the delete button. Highlight that, hit the delete button. Okay, now if you wanted to, now you're happy with the font, you're happy with the heading, you're happy with the font size, okay, and that's what you want. Please remember, whatever you do when you exit out of here, you have to hit the save button up here. Remember, with the reports, you always click the save up here and you click the save down here. And that's how easy it is to change a font, to change a spine label. Okay, when you go in here, you'll get frustrated the first time you try to go in and change, because you go, how do I get to that cog? Basically, I'm saying bring it, the vertical one, bring it down. Okay, and then you have to see, if I put in there, it's not there. So just move it a little bit, put up there. Nah, that's only the right justified. Move it down there, put up here, and you go, ah, there it is. So now you can click on that and you've got all your formatting information. If you're happy with all of that, make sure you hit the save diskette and then the save button, and now your spine label is set like that. Now, if you decide to do your own spine label, you can choose any of our spine label programs, and then you just come in here, because you're not altering the master. You can measure how many, you can tell the system how many rows there are, how many columns there are, how much gap between each cell in the spine label, you know, every individual label, how many millimeters there are in the rows across, the width of the labels, the height of the labels, okay, and how many millimeter blanks to leave and show. So you can play around with this to your heart's content, and when you go save, you're not going to alter the original configuration. Okay, so golden rule: whenever you're going to do any kind of report, grab any report from here, doesn't matter what it is, click on it, and go, I want to duplicate that report. And the name of this report is Brave One. Okay, 12. So that's the name of the report, and then just go save. And now when you go into your reports module, there's your spine labels, and there's your label you've just worked on. And you go ahead and you can work to your heart's content. You will never, ever destroy, modify, accidentally or deliberately change any of these parameters. I hope you've enjoyed this session. If you want information, you can go into YouTube, and in YouTube do a search for SmartSuite space reports, and you'll get a whole bunch of reports there. However, you might want us to create a very special, particular kind of training for you. Why don't you go into the menu button, go into the mailbox, and put in a request and say, we would like so go into support tickets, go create a ticket and say, training video for reports, please. In here will be, can you please do a training video on how to, and tell us the kind of report you want us to teach you, and we'll create one for you. We'll put it on YouTube, so it's not just for you, but it's available for everyone else, and we'll send you the link for it. Thank you very much for this opportunity to show you SmartSuite reports. Signing out, it's Michael.